Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Rosa Technopad. Today's our topic or discussion topic is SNMP connectivity, and we are going to see how we can figure out any issues related to SNMP on the Fortigate or on the Forti analyzer or any FortiWeb device because the troubleshooting scenarios or possibilities are similar for all the devices. Let's start. Okay, so why I brought this topic or why I decided to create a video on SNMP troubleshooting. So recently I had faced an issue where SNMP traps were not being sent. So I had an issue where I troubleshooted like no SNMP traps being sent. The weird thing on this issue was like SNMP queries were working fine, but SNMP traps were not sent. So issue was only with SNMP traps, not with the SNMP queries. So we observed like Phase was working perfectly fine for SNMP queries. Phase was not sending SNMP traps to SNMP servers. We tried by restarting the SNMP server, still did not fix the issue. We captured the traffic and did not saw SNMP traps being sent out of the port. So that was my case where I faced this issue recently. So this uh, raised a point or this triggered for me to create a video on troubleshooting SNMP. So let's start. Okay, so whenever we are troubleshooting any SNMP issues with Fortigate, so what are the troubleshooting steps or what troubleshooting methodology that needs to be followed? So the first thing that we need is we should clear whether your requests are reaching the device or not. For example, this is our Fortigate, okay, and this is a sum of our SNMP server. SNMP server we can say or any SNMP tool, okay. So if you say like SNMP Fortigate is not responding to SNMP or specific queries, this is your Fortigate. And if that is the case, then what you need to troubleshoot first, you need to see whether the requests from SNMP server are reaching Fortigate. Okay. So how you can confirm this? First, you need to have some kind of SNMP server or SNMP, or you can do an SNMP walk to confirm the requests are reaching the Fortigate. The second method is first we told like perform SNMP walk or SNMP get using SNMP using any tool or SNMP server. So this is the first step that we need to do. Send out some SNMP request to Fortigate. Then the second point is verify if SNMP requests or trap are being received or sent. Okay. So this first part is we confirmed like okay initiating the request. Then second part you need to see is capture traffic on Fortigate to confirm if you received. Okay, so second is you have to capture the traffic on Fortigate interface. This particular interface you have to capture the traffic and see if you received this SNMP get request. You might not receive if let's say there is some other device in between and if that is blocking. So this is also an important thing to see if you are receiving this SNMP request on the Fortigate. Okay. So let's say the request was generated successfully. You see the request came on the packet capture. So verify if SNMP requests are there. Verify communication is allowed. Let's say if this is not being sent or not being received, then you should verify that communication is allowed. Okay, now this is also important. Verify the hosts configured. So for SNMP on the Fortigate, we have a trusted host configuration. So if you don't configure the trusted host, then also Fortigate will not respond. But in this capture, you should receive the request. But Fortigate will not be sending out the response if the host is not configured. Verify SNMPD service is running on Fortigate. So let's say you received the request, but still Fortigate is not responding. then you should see that whether SNMP service is running on FortiGate or FortiAnalyzer or not. Okay, if service is also running, then you should see the SNMP statistics, like what are the statistics of SNMP, whether there are being any packets being recorded in the statistics, like you are sending and responding. And then you can also generate an SNMP test trap or alert log from the FortiGate to see if Fortigate sent out the response or not. And if all of these are like not fine, the last one is restarting the SNMP server. So these are all the troubleshooting steps that we need to follow for a SNMP troubleshooting. I will show you all this on live, but see, this video is for those who are already aware about SNMP. I'm not telling what is SNMP, what SNMP works, or I can just give an idea later on. Okay. So next, go to our next slide. So I said capture SNMP traffic in sniffer. Okay. So let me pull out a firewall and see how we can capture. Okay. So okay, one. So here is my FortiGate firewall. Okay. Give me a second. Okay, so here is my FortiGate firewall, and how you will do capture of SNMP traffic. So for that you can use a diagnose sniffer command, diagnose sniffer packet. Any means it will listen or it will capture packets for any port, or you can specify the port number on which you are expecting the SNMP traffic. And then you can say port 161. So port 161 is for SNMP queries. If you are looking to troubleshoot SNMP queries, SNMP queries is where SNMP server is sending a get request and FortiGate has to respond. Okay, so you can say port 161, and then you have to specify the verbose level 40L. So basically what 40L tells is 4 is the verbose level, 0 is the number of packets, like I am not putting any limit, and L is the timestamp. So local timestamp, local is whatever the time on the FortiGate. So now if you press enter, you will be able to see the sniffer is running. That means the packet capture is running on port 161. Okay, and then I will generate some SNMP get requests as well. Give me a minute, I will just prepare. Okay, so I sent some get request to the firewall. Okay, and you can see you received an get request from this IP address 10563 on 161 port, but you can see here there is no response back. That means the FortiGate has not responded. Okay, so why FortiGate has not responded, that is what now you have to figure out in our case. Okay, so what are the things that you need to check? Let's go on the our FortiGate GUI, and I will show you why my FortiGate might not have responded. Okay, so let me go to the firewall login, and I will show you what are the different things that you have to see under FortiGate configuration. Okay, I'm just logging on to one of the devices. Okay, and I logged in. Okay, so here if you see, this is my FortiGate device. Okay, so let's go to SNMP system SNMP. What all things you need to do or you need to verify. For now, I don't have anything here. Even my SNMP agent is not running. Okay, so if I go as part of our troubleshooting, what I said is perform SNMP walk. This I did by sending a GET request. Okay. Verify if SNMP requests are being received. So in my case, I received the SNMP request. That means communication is allowed. That is why you have received the request. Now I said verify the hosts configured or SNMP service is running. Okay, let's go. My SNMP agent itself is not running, and the same can be checked even. I will stop this. If you do a diagnose stop, you should see a SNMPD process running here if the SNMP daemon is running. Okay, or you can see diagnose stop all. Okay, so diagnose stop all shows all the processes that are running. Okay, so we don't see it. Okay, so it shows all the processes that are running, and if you grab this, you will not see SNMPD here. So if you see this list, under this list there is no SNMPD. SNMP daemon is not running. So SNMP daemon is not running because I have not enabled the service. Let me run this. Apply. Now after enabling the SNMP agent, if I go back and if I see my process, I will see here SNMPD. So now the SNMPD is started, right? You can see now SNMPD process is also running. So, okay. Now if I again send a GET request to my firewall, now what happens? Let's see. Now if I again send a GET request to my firewall, let me put a sniffer again. So I have started the sniffer on 161 and I will again send a SNMP request. Okay. Now also I see the SNMP request is received, but there is no out packet or there is no response back from the Fortigate. Now why? Okay, why there is no response? Let's go back to our Fortigate. Okay. Okay, so why there is no response is because I have started the SNMP daemon, but I have not created any community string for version or version 3 or v1, v2c or v3. So let me create a community string. I will just create a community string public, and this is what I said, verify the hosts are configured properly. Okay, so 000 means anyone. I will just mention 000. That means accept the SNMP queries from any host. Okay, and for queries, SNMP queries are heard on port 161, and SNMP trap works on port 162. So this you should be aware if you are working on SNMP. So these are the port numbers that are being used, and Fortigate sends SNMP traps only in these cases which are listed down under this setting. So no, if any of these events occur, then Fortigate sends an SNMP trap. Otherwise, it's all the server has to query. Okay. So now I created a community string called public, allowed from any host, and selected OK. So now I have enabled v1, v2 with a community string and selected apply. Okay. Now I will uh, like again send a request by using this community. Okay, let me send again. Okay, sorry, I sent. Okay, again I sent a request, but still I don't see the response going back from the Fortigate. Okay, I will show you how I am creating the request. So basically, there is a free public tool available to do SNMP walk using GUI. There are multiple tools, but I always use this iReasoning MIP browser. So this is quite simple. Like you can try by generating request. You specify the firewall IP address and then the go request. Okay. So under this you have all OIDs that are available. I will just click on this. Okay, so whenever I click on any OID or if I say operation get go, it sends an get request here, right? But I don't see the response coming back again. Okay, and it says it's not responding. So the tool says not responding. Let's go to our firewall back. Give me a second. Okay, let's go to our firewall back. Now, what is the issue? We verified capture, we verified this. Okay, what is the community string? Let me see the community string. Here is public. What I am using, let me check this. So you should check. I am saying port 161 community string and I will say v2. Both are public public. Public public. Okay, and I will send a get request. Did it worked? No, it did not work. You can see there is no response back from Fortigate. Okay. Now what is the issue? We checked services enabled. We checked accept queries from everywhere. Okay. And we enable the SNMP. Okay. Now this SNMP should be enabled on the interface as well. So which interface? In my case, I am trying is this one. Okay. So if you go, the first step towards everything should be, it should be enabled on the SNMP. SNMP should be enabled under interface as well. So now if you apply the SNMP on the interface and select OK. Okay, so let's go again and try to again send a request. Yes, so now if you see, we got the response and it worked. How? So I received a request and Fortigate responded the 161. Okay, and if you go to our tool, you can see the response for this particular OID came. Let me get something else. Let's say what are the different interfaces on this firewall. So there are 49 different interface. I want the interface index. Okay, so these are all the interfaces index. So now if you see here, for all the request, I see there is a response back from the Fortigate. Okay, so this is how we verify any issues with SNMP. So what we tried now was we did perform SNMP work. We verified SNMP request or traps being received. We verified the hosts are configured. We verified SNMPD services running. Okay, now let's say in our case we fixed the issue. The issue was the SNMP configuration. But let's say if there is some any other issue because of the software or any other issue. So in that case, there okay. Let's go first. Let's go to our next slides. Then we'll see. So this I have shown you by doing capture, how to capture, so that we can do by using this diagnose sniffer command. Okay, diagnose sniffer packet port 161 is for queries, and in the same command if you put 162, so that you can use for traps. But traps are only generated when Fortigate or FortiAnalyzer sends some trap during an event. Okay, so we have seen how to capture SNMP traffic. Okay, now see this about the process, about the statistics, or how we can troubleshoot the process issues. Okay, so when we are, let's say now I am on the Fortigate and I can issue a command diagnose test application SNMPD. Okay, so if I do diagnose test application SNMPD, it gives me the information about the process itself or what we can do. So first is display daemon PID. That means what is the process ID for SNMPD process. So if I do SNMPD1, it gives me the process ID for that is 4549. And if I do a diag stop, and I will see the process SNMPD running here, it will not show because there is a big list. So let's say 500. I am want to see 100 process. SNMPD is this. Yeah. So you can see this is 4549 processes running. Okay. So when you do SNMP, you see all these options. Then display SNMP statistics. So in the same command, diagnose test application SNMP do, you can put a SNMP2. Okay. So there it gives stats for V3. Okay. So there it gives steps for SNMP V3 only, like what are the messages received, trap sent. But in our case, I am using SNMP V3 for now during the troubleshooting. So it's not showing any statistics. Okay. Again, going back, clear SNMP statistics. So if you press number 3, then these statistics will be cleared. Okay, now let's talk about trap. So see, it's difficult to test the traps. Why? Because traps can only be generated when an event is occurred, and which events, that is defined under Fortigate SNMP configuration. So if you go under system, under community, and then go, so only in case of these events, CPU usage high, available memory is high, VPN tunnel up, interface IP changed. So whenever these events occurs, then only Fortigate sends and trap. But you want to test and trap whether Fortigate trap is working fine. So you can use this SNMP do and 4 command. This will generate a test trap. Okay, and that can be seen on the SNMP server, like that you received an trap. Or for us, if we want to confirm whether it generated or not, I can again do a capture. Okay, let's go. So what I will show you, I'm trying to show here, I will put a diagnose sniffer packet any, and I will put port 162 because I want to see the traps 40L. Okay, so now if I that's the capture running. Okay, that's the capture running, and here I am running the packet capture, and here I am going to generate a test trap. So as soon as I generate a test trap, there is no trap being sent. Why there is no trap? Any idea? There is no trap because you have not configured any SNMP trap destination. Okay, so unless and until you configure where you have to send the trap, where it will send, so Fortigate will not send. Okay, that also I can show you. Okay, so for traps, trap only works if you have specific IP addresses configured. So under the same setting, earlier I had used 000 and I did not had anything under this. Okay, so in this case, the trap will not work. Let's say this is 00. Okay, accept queries and send traps. And let's go to our firewall and let's try to generate a test trap. If you see here, okay, now, oh, sorry, because of the earlier configuration, let me apply. Okay, now if you see here, if I do a SNMP trap, Fortigate did not send any trap. Why Fortigate did not send any trap? Because under the configuration we have 000. So 00 means anywhere. Anywhere means where the Fortigate should send the trap. Fortigate is not aware. So if you want to send the trap, then this 000 should be a specific IP address for the SNMP server. Okay, let's say if I put a specific IP address and select OK and apply, and then again I will try to generate a trap. See, now you can see the trap is sent by a Fortigate from 162 port to 111. 111 means I just used any random IP here. So if you have 000 configured, then SNMP traps will not be sent, but SNMP queries can be received. Okay, so this is how we can fix SNMP issues. Let's go back to our slide. Okay, so This screenshot I am showing it from Forti analyzer. The same way on the Forti analyzer also this command is available. Okay, so display PID, statistics, generate test trap. For the test trap on the Forti analyzer, you have three different options like test trap for CPU high, for log alert, for this. But on Fortigate there is a simple only one trap, so the options are changing. And if you want to restart the SNMP process, you have to use the same command, diagnose test application, SNMPD, and then the 99, which will restart the process. Okay. So this I have shown you how to see the process ID, the statistics, how to restart, and this is how we generate the SNMPD traps, how we can verify. Okay. And let me know your feedback, or if you have any queries or doubts onto this troubleshooting, you can just comment in the video and I will be happy to answer all your queries and any issues that you also face. Okay, please do like, subscribe my channel. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, by the way, there is one more thing we missed. I did not told you the solution of my problem that I had faced. Okay, so in my situation the problem was very problematic. Not problematic means difficult. So here I am using an /32 IP, and if I specify 255.255.255.0, what do you think? Is this a correct configuration? By visualing, by seeing I see, oh, it's a IP address and it's /24 is the subnet, that's fine. But no, actually that is wrong. So in my case, customer had this configured where queries were working fine, but traps were not being sent. So for traps, the IP address has to be proper, not a subnet. It has to be a host. That was my issue. So we did all this troubleshooting, but ultimately found the issue was because of this. Customer was using here 0. Okay. So do let me know any feedback. Thank you for watching, and please do like, subscribe my channel. I have used some of the references. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye bye.